First of all, I just want to address Ireland's relationship with the EU, first of all, and how this plays into that relationship. I currently believe that the biggest threat to the EU at the moment is more EU. The creep of power towards Brussels, of democratic powers from nation-states, is creating great resistance through societies right across the European Union. And if you look back at Ireland's relationship with the EU, not all of it is positive, and that has to be outlined. The economist Paul Macaulay stated that the former Minister for Finance, Brian Lenihan, had a loaded gun pointed to his ear when it came to the ECB letter sent to the Irish government in 2010. Later, the new Minister for Finance, Michael Noonan, confirmed that he received a call from the European Central Bank President Jean-Claude Trichet blocking the imposition of burden sharing at the time. Noonan said that Trichet warned him that an economic bomb would go off in Dublin if Ireland pursued the option of imposing losses on senior bondholders. So Ireland, with a population of 1% of the EU, paid 42% of the total cost of the European banking crisis, a cost of about £9,000 per person, according to Eurostat. So we know at times the large European states make decisions on the basis of their own national interests and at the cost of so-called other members of the European Union. Now, legislation is coming thick and fast from the European Union at the moment. Most of it is unquestionably rubber-stamped here without any concessions to this House, and much of it is flawed as well. The Nature Restoration Law is an example of this, a law handed down to farmers with rigid targets with little detail on how it's going to be implemented, totally absent of the funds necessary to ensure that farmers can make a living. Another example of the drift of power from nation-states is Ursula von der Leyen's plan to create a European Defence Union, which clearly is the start of a European army into the future. A union that would make decisions on the basis of the needs of France and Germany, but would ignore the views of the Irish people. A union that would, in the medium to long term, expect young Irish men and women to put their lives on the line for it, but only for German and French strategic interests. And if you think you'll be able to influence Ursula von der Leyen, just look at the amount of influence you imposed on Ursula von der Leyen when she strode the world stage offering Israel a blank cheque for the murderous campaign of killing 37,000 people in Palestine. The Irish government with no influence over Ursula von der Leyen in relation to that. Now, the government is already preparing the way for the European Defence Union. The Taoiseach has indicated he wants to get rid of the veto that we have in terms of military issues in the treaties, and the Taoiseach has indicated he wants to get rid of the triple lock. And even the government's attitude towards sovereignty is incredible. The Taoiseach has stated that he wants nothing to do with a backward idea of sovereignty, but Aontú certainly does not agree with the Taoiseach. We believe that the sovereignty of the Irish people is really important. We believe that decisions made here by the people and close to the people are better decisions, so that we can actually hold the decision makers to account and influence those decisions. We, like most people, are supportive of the original premise of the EU, a trading partnership that works together in the interests of the nation-states. And we seek a partnership of nation-states working together. But what's actually happening on a range of different issues is this government is ceding significant power and sovereignty